Hi, everyone. Welcome to Indigenous Superstars. Coming to you live tonight from Winnipeg, Manitoba. I just want to say that I had the opportunity to perform at a live function last night, and with people there, it was half the capacity because of Indigenous Day, National Indigenous Day here in Canada, and I want to say happy belated Indigenous Day to all the Indigenous folks all over Canada. And really happy to be here tonight. I'm coming to you live from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and we have a really awesome guest this evening, and that's Leela Gilday. I also want to mention that I started a Facebook page called Indigenous Superstars, and I'll be posting all the flyers that I created for the show. And I'm not going to allow any ads going on there because this is my business, and I'm not going to be promoting anyone else but the people who I'm interviewing, just to let you know about the group page. But yeah, it's I started that, and whoever I also started a playlist on Spotify, and whoever that I interview will be getting on that playlist on Spotify. So if you know anyone that, or if any artists that are interested in coming on Indigenous Superstars, please give me, email me or message me on Facebook or comment on the show tonight. So tonight, like I said, we have a really amazing guest. Her name is Leela Gilday. She's one of my awesome friends that I got to meet as being part of Musician in the Music Trail. So I'm just going to read her bio. If you're in the North, Leela Gilday's music is home. If you've never been, it will take you there. Born and raised in Northwest Territories, she writes about the people and the land that created her. The power in her voice conveys the depth of her feelings and love and life in a rugged environment and vibrant culture, as if it comes straight from that earth. Leela's family is from the Line on the shore of the Great Bear Lake, and her rich vocals dance across the rhythmic beats of traditional Dene drumming as smoothly as a bass line on stage on the largest venues in the country. And she has played them all. Leela has toured festivals and concert halls with her four-piece band through every province and territory in Canada. She has played in the United States, Greenland, Denmark, and New Zealand, and this year embarked on an ambitious European tour. Her live shows are where she connects with fans who have followed her on her 20-year career, and where new fans are born. She reaches into their hearts and feels the energy of every person in front of her as she guides them on a journey through song and experience. She believes music has an inexplicable effect on people, and it is a place where she can share light and dark and the most vulnerable moments. A clarity and genuine purpose that reassures her listeners through every word. She is a storyteller, and through this reflects the world onto itself. After 5 years, her last album was released. 5 years of growth, healing, head down work. Leela's fifth album has been released in the fall of 2020. It is more raw, more intimate, and more Leela than anything else you've ever heard from before. So I'm going to bring in Leela. Hey, Leela.
Hey, Rhonda.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good considering what's going on in the world.
For sure. I was
Yeah.
thinking as you're reading my bio that I have to update it because I no longer really play directly in front of people. And that's despite what you said about your gig last night, I think it's going to be kind of the industry standard for the next 18 months anyway. I think live gigs are going to be precious and
They
few
Yeah.
and far between. So anyway, it's lovely to see you, though. It's lovely to connect with you online, and I'm really so honored that you asked me to come on here. And I know we tried to do this a couple weeks ago, but it didn't work out. So I'm really happy we were able to make it work this time.
Me too. I'm really glad we got to reschedule, and I was really disappointed that it was bad, like technical difficulties at that time, and it happens with the internet and and all with all like. There's probably a lot of people online right now all the time since
Totally.
COVID-19.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we met couple years or many years ago at AMP Camp from through the organization of Alan Gray Eyes. So I got to meet you there, and I was really like, wow, I was so impressed with your singing and your performance, and yeah, you just had a great energy, and we got to cross paths many other times, and the most recent one was in Banff a few months ago.
That's right.
So yeah, it was great to connect with you there and to hang out with you there. It was so much fun.
Yeah, for sure. It's been really great to see all of the many things that you've been doing, Rhonda, and really just like developing and putting your whole heart into your music and now other endeavors. So that's really awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I think COVID's got me really busy. That's what I would say. To say the least. But I started the show because of COVID. Like I was just thinking, when I was back home on OCN, I thought, what are we gonna do? What are us Indigenous musicians gonna do now that we have nowhere to perform anymore? And so I was thinking and thinking, and then I just thought of, well, why don't I just start interviewing and letting our in, like Indigenous superstars, that's what I call us,
I love it.
and interview them, and get them to share their music and their journeys in music.
I
You know,
think it's really important actually because and it's strange, at first I was really well, obviously, I was quite upset when everything sort of came down, but and all the gigs were canceled. All the things. North Star Calling was actually released in September 2019, so I did a whole bunch of showcasing and had a whole summer of touring lined up, and everything was canceled. But I've really gotten used to this kind of interaction, and in a way, it's even more intimate than putting on a live show in front of 100 or 1,000 or 5,000 people or whatever. Certainly, fans can interact with you like straight here. You can see
mhm.
like whatever zit you have.
They
So
can't see it.
I got lots of makeup on. Anyway, yeah, I think it's really cool to have these kind of opportunities to connect with people directly, and it's been really special actually. Now that I've kind of um, gone over the learning curve, gone through the learning curve of being my own tech and trying to get the best sound, etc. So anyway, yeah,
That's right. Yeah, that's so true. When I first did my first online performance, I was so nervous
yeah,
because
me,
as artists, we're used to that energy and that connection with the live audience, right?
absolutely.
It's like shaking, and I did my show, and I cried because because that's when COVID first came, and I just poured my heart out to the camera, and I bawled my head off when it was done.
Yeah,
But now I'm getting used to the and yeah, I find it more intimate, and allowing the fans to interact with you guys, with the artists, has been really awesome.
yeah.
So with that, I'm gonna give you the screen, and allow you to sing your first piece.
Okay, Masicho. So, hello, everyone. Um, I hope you had a fantastic National Indigenous Peoples Day weekend. It's actually Indigenous History Month, and also yesterday was Father's Day. For those of you who celebrate that in any kind of way, as well as solstice. And what I celebrated this weekend was actually releasing, I mean, I celebrated all those things, but also releasing a new song. And this song is called Giants. I had performed it prior to the release of it, but it was really exciting to let the recording out into the world. And my friend Crystal Thompson also made a music video, a lyric video for it with some animation. I co-wrote it with my dear friend Hill Korkudis, and it was originally for the World Cup 2020 World Cup of cross country skiing. Oh, there's my dad. Hi, Abba. Okay, here we go. This is Giants. We are brilliant as the snow, 10 million years of atoms glow, shining through the deepest night. Trust the stars to bring you home, though you're out there on your own. Ancestors guide you to the light. Ancestors guide you to the light. Shine bright, feel strong. We are giants in our hearts. Well, 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 hey, oh. Took some time to get you here. Looking back, we feel the tears. We remember what we gave. Letting go of all your fears. Thankful for 1,000 years. Courage in our DNA. Courage in our DNA. Shine bright, feel strong. We are giants in our hearts. Well, 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 hey, well, hey, oh. Then I chonke, surina ketse, eyihe, edakari. Shine bright, feel strong. We are giants in our hearts. Shine bright, feel strong. We are giants in our hearts. We are giants in our hearts. Well, 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 hey, well, hey, oh. Well, well, hey, well, 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 hey, well, well. Well, well, hey, well, hey, oh, yeah.
Hey, that's an awesome song. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Let's see.
Beautiful. That's awesome. So I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions about your music and your journey. So what inspired you to get into music?
Well, I was raised singing and playing from a very young age. And it was really, music has just always been something that has animated me and been a thread and a healing and you know, that thing that you turn to in your life. And I think it's a really natural thing for humans. I was raised to believe that singing is a human birthright and that all of us really, whatever kind of voice we have, should be singing. And so I think I really connected with that initially. I was raised listening to a huge range of styles and genres. And I really found inspiration in many of them. Um, and I think what's carried me into my career, and what really continues to inspire me is not only just that, personal creative side, that creative voice that I have, that enables me to express those parts of myself, but also the way that my music impacts people and what that brings to them. So the way that I can be empowered, the way that I can empower other people and uplift them. And I see now that, Rhonda, you've gone from the feed. So I'm not sure what's happened. I'm just going to pop on here. But so that's what, oh, there you are. Oh, you're back. Hello.
I'm connected to the hotel internet, and I think that's why I got cut off here.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Sorry about it, that everyone.
I gave like a lengthy answer to your question. I don't know how much of it you heard, but people out there watching, hopefully they. I'm not sure if they heard it either, actually, because you're empowering one another is the key. Yes, absolutely. So,
Yeah. So sorry about that.
okay,
So
no worries.
the other question I had for you is that you sing in your Indigenous language, and when I sing it too, and I'm sure there's a spirit. You feel a spirit when you sing in your language. So how do you can you tell me your experience when you sing in your Indigenous language?
Yeah, well, I don't really speak my language. I wasn't raised speaking it, so I am just learning, and I learn in very small increments. I haven't been taking lessons or anything, but it's something that's very important to me. All of my cousins speak our language, and my mom, and so I'm still surrounded by it, and I've been making efforts to learn. And so incorporating it into my music is just kind of a natural thing, something that I feel is really important, but also I think it's a beautiful language. So to me, it sounds beautiful when I sing in that way. And I also think that, incorporating it into this kind of contemporary sounding music actually makes it more accessible for other people. So yeah, that's a part of the reasons. Those some of the reasons that I do it. And then, I also concurrently use a lot of. I have a lot of like drum song influences in my music. So I sometimes use drum dance or tea dance in my songs or to inspire the song when I'm writing it. And that also is a way that I kind of connect with that part of me, which is such an important part.
That's so awesome. Yeah, because I sing in my own language too, and I didn't know my language neither. And when I started performing and writing the Cree language, it's coming back to me slowly, but
Wow.
I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to speak Cree, and I could sing in it perfectly when the words are in front of me, and yeah. So it's really amazing what singing in our Indigenous language does for us and our soul and our spirituality and our language.
Yeah.
It's so it's
I
pretty
yeah,
amazing.
got I just got some exciting news that I'm going to be writing and recording an entire record in my language.
Oh, congratulations! That's so
Thank
exciting.
you.
That's awesome.
Scary,
Congratulations.
but also
So
amazing. So
exciting. Totally exciting. Good for you. That's so awesome. I can't wait to hear it when it comes out. So another question is your music is very, very unique. Can you tell us what inspires you to write and compose your songs?
I started writing music when I was a young teenager, and like yeah, or a preteen, and I started writing about the things that most people write about. Um, and that's like when you're a teenager, that's like about, oh, broken heart, like love songs. That's what we're mostly preoccupied when there's like a million hormones rushing through our body. And so, but as time went on, I became more and more drawn to expressing myself and my identity through song, and not just my identity, but like issues that impacted me or my family or our people or our land. Songwriting became a vehicle to communicate those things and those stories. And really, like if you look at us, we are a storytelling people, right? So that's how we think information gets passed around. That's how we communicate emotion and feeling and also history, like just facts as well. And so being drawn into songwriting, yeah, that was kind of the way that unfolded for me. So
Awesome. Okay, I just want to take the time to acknowledge all the people tuning in with us. I'm going to say hi to Aaron, your dad, Brenda, and let me see who else is here with us. Tracy Calhoun, what do you say? Utana from Arizona or New Mexico. That's where she's from.
yeah, she yeah
Yeah,
yeah.
she's an awesome supporter from that area, from that territory. She's awesome. She's always supporting all the Indigenous artists in it. She's great. Yeah, she's a great person to have on your side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've traveled all over the world and sang in many venues. I just want to know what was your, you could tell us one or two, because I know there's probably not one favorite place. There's probably a lot of them, but what one or two comes to mind that was your favorite place to perform, the land and the venue and the people. What was the best one for you?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Um, I mean, I've performed all over this country in every province and territory, and I've loved every single minute of it. Looking back now that we don't travel, and now that I don't perform in live venues, I'm like, how come I didn't appreciate it the way that I should have? I did appreciate it at the time, but I also was like, oh, I miss home, I miss my husband, all of these things, that now I realize that I took it for granted somewhat, even though it was the product of a lot of work, in order to play in all those places. But I think some of the coolest places I played at are, had an opportunity to tour Greenland. And I remember we played at this little restaurant in Ilulissat, which is where icebergs are born. And we were this little restaurant in this hotel facing the bay where the icebergs were being born, and just like witnessing that while playing was just incredible. um, and then I think that part of the magic of performing is the no matter how big or small your audience is the magic that happens in that room. So I remember actually one performance at the Exchange in, is it Regina or Saskatoon that venue is in? It's called the Exchange. Do you remember? Okay, so I think that's what the venue is called. Very small venue. It is split into two places. I think it was Saskatoon actually, and I remember I was playing solo, which is not something I did very much at the time because I wasn't super confident in my guitar playing. But I had decided to play this particular show solo, and I remember I played the song One Drum, which at the time was my big hit, and truthfully is probably the most successful song that I've had as a musician. And the craziest thing happened. There were maybe 12 people in the audience. It was a very, very low turnout, very small venue, so it didn't feel horrible. But when I was singing that chorus to One Drum, which is way hey ah hey, way hey ah hey, way hey ah hey ah, I heard, and I'm just getting chills thinking about it, but I heard 50 people on stage with me, singing with me. And I think that I was blessed with like my ancestors coming to sing with me at that time. And so I'll always remember that show. And although clearly I forgot the name of the venue, I remember that stage as being just an incredible experience. So there's,
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. That's so beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah. So, um, what can you, what advice would you give to an emerging artist in the, coming into the music industry?
That's a question that I get asked a lot as somebody who's made my way to some measure of success in the music industry. Although I always try to redefine measures of success because I think that it's important for us to value things like community connection, personal satisfaction, like personal spiritual fulfillment. To me, those things are marks of huge marks of success that don't necessarily qualify in the like capitalist view of success. So I think it's different right now to be asked that question than it was 4 months ago. I
Mm,
I don't know what to tell artists who are just emerging at this point, um, because everything has been so decimated in our industry. There was a young band that I was mentoring out of Toronto, and another artist that I was mentoring here. And to be quite honest with you, their careers are sort of they don't know what to do, and I don't know what to tell them because I'm just trying to figure that out for myself. So. Um, I think my main advice at this point in time for any young artist coming up would be to really just hone your craft and to play as much as you possibly can, because it's really the love of music that's the purest thing that will get you through all of the many challenges that the music industry has for us artists.
thank you. That's really awesome advice to give them, especially this time during this world pandemic that we're going through.
Yeah, it's
So,
tough.
yeah, yeah. So what do you have on the horizon? Hopefully after this when the world heals, what do you have going on?
Well, yeah, my big, actually, my big secret, which is I just let the cat out of the bag, is that I am going to be writing and recording this new record, which I just got funding for a couple of days ago. So that's a very, very big, exciting secret that I just announced here on Indigenous Superstars. And so that'll be really challenging to, yeah, to write in my own language and to record, and something that's never really been done. But I've also got a number of projects on the horizon, and some performances coming up. I wrote and recorded a collaboration song with, thanks, Brenda. I just see her comment popping up. So, collaboration with some Yellowknife musicians, which was for Canada Day, which I don't usually celebrate, but it was. Um, I was so excited to get together with real live musicians and to represent my area that that I jumped at the chance. So that's coming out on July 1st on CBC television, and yeah, I have a number of other things kind of in the works that I'll announce on my website and also my Facebook page. So yeah, things are looking, I've definitely done the work to pivot my business. I'm really looking at recording and composing and recording music for film and television as well, and trying to get into that a little bit more, and just sort of also take care of myself. That's like on the top of the list because, and I don't mean in a financial way, but I mean in a spiritual and emotional way, and physical
Great.
too.
Yeah.
I'm just really trying to connect with my land and with my body and with my family and those sorts of things that sometimes when we're so busy touring on the road gets moved to the side.
Mhm.
I have to say, like it's becoming more and more clear to me as the months roll by here. We've had a lot of chance to reflect on things, and we've seen a lot of really great movement when it comes to um, social justice. And
Mhm.
a focus on human rights, on equality. I'm really big supporter of the Black Lives Matter movement. I think it's really great that they're gaining some mainstream notice, which, of course, they were here already for a very long time, but this is a time where, the spotlight is kind of on it. And I'm super happy. Like, I think it's about time that we shine that light on the inequities in our system. And
That's
then, of
right.
course, from an Indigenous perspective too, from an Indigenous worldview, we don't want to just be a part of this capitalist system, but also protect our land and go back to the real, trying to live in a better way with the earth. And I think we, especially the people really talking about climate change, and we have a real opportunity here during this break from regular society
Hmm.
to really address some of the underlying issues that are out of balance with the whole way that we interact with our world. So it's an exciting time. It's a very scary time, and that's all kind of coming out in my music. I've realized that that's part of why I'm a musician, is to really talk about these things and give and hopefully wake some people up, and hopefully uplift and empower people to
Yeah.
really reach them in their hearts and in their heads too.
Yes, that's so true. That's so true. Thank you for sharing that with us. And with that, we'll go to your next song. So I'll give you the screen.
Okay, Masicho. Well, this song is called Keta Natse Ju, and Natse means to heal in my language. And this is on North Star Calling, the record that I was just talking about. And last night I just saw for the first time my performance of it on the finale of the Inspire Awards. So I'd like to send this one out to my band, because I miss you very, very much, and also to all the youth and the drummers that joined us on that performance. Man, that was an incredible experience. So here we go. My dear mother, I wish you well. I can't bear to see you cry, so I have this distant bed, and now I the tears from my eyes. My dear brother, will I see you again? So many things I long to say. I felt it in the bed, and all I can do is pray. Can't I said you. Can't I said you. My dear brother, is there no other way? Surely you deserve a chance. I wish I could hold you up, and you would join us in a dance. Can't I said you. My sweet sister who always still I seen you all dressed in red. I wish I could turn back time and take back all those things I said. I said you. I said
Ooh, that was awesome. Thank you for sharing that. It was so wonderful. You're so talented. I love your energy when you perform, and I love the words that you write, and just everything when you're just so awesome, and I'm so glad that we got to finally connect, and apologize that we went offline for a while. It was the internet of the hotel. I'm going to blame them. But where can people find your music on social media?
Anywhere you can just type in my name, Leela Gilday, and it's or go to my website, leelagilday.com. And I'm on every platform, so all the iTunes and Spotify and Amazon and not Bandcamp. I shouldn't say every platform, but all of those other ones, Deezer and whatnot. There's a million. And yeah, if you like what you're here, please feel free to reach out. So.
Awesome. So that brings us to the end of our show. Do you want to have say some parting words?
Well, I just want to say Masicho to you, Rhonda, for uplifting other Indigenous musicians and really giving us a chance to talk a little bit more in depth about the music. You know, it's not often that I get this opportunity, so I really am grateful to you and to everyone out there listening. I hope that you're doing well. I am sending you all my love and hope that. You know, we make it through this together, that we come out better than we were, and that we can lift all of the people up, all the people that need it, lift them up so that we can all live in with justice and kindness.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all your words and everything that you shared with us this evening. Uh, I'm really happy that we got to meet each other, and I hope we get to see each other soon on the music trail. It might be a few more months before we get to travel out there, and I'm looking forward to that day when we get to see each other again on the music trail.
Yeah.
So,
So, Rhonda,
yeah. So the next musical guest is on at 9:15. I'm having a double bill this evening.
I see
Yeah,
that.
Neil Morris from Australia. So I'm
Awesome.
really looking forward to interviewing him. And stay safe, stay healthy. Kasagitin, Negusa. Okay.